Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Márcio Marinho here. Today, let's have a chat about how to learn programming or software development fast. Because nobody wants to go slow, so let's go as fast as we can. The first thing I want to bring is that programming is a hard task or a hard job. And I really mean it because we, as programmers or developers, we are paid to solve problems. This is what we basically do. We keep solving problems on a daily basis. So everything happens here in our heads. So we have to translate that solution into a working code. So it's quite challenging and it's hard, but it's completely doable. So it's basically a set of steps in training we have to go through, and then we can achieve the mastery of a programming language. It's not to chase you guys away, but just to make it clear up front that as everything else in life, programming is hard, so we have to apply ourselves. So I would say that this would be my first tip that programming is hard and we have to, first of all, focus. So focus on what we want and focus on what we want to achieve. And a disclaimer I can make here is that I'm not offering any silver bullets to solve any problems for everybody as a one fit all kind of solution. This does not exist, but what I'm bringing here to you guys is the set of techniques and steps I have used and I still use uh, those same steps and techniques to help me learn anything I want faster than usual. So if I was using any other methods or methodology, so this method helps me to learn fast, and I would like to share it with you guys as it may help you guys as well. So this video was inspired by a chat I had with a friend a few weeks ago, and this person wants to go back to programming, but he's a bit lost on how he should approach programming, how should he be studying, what should he be studying, because we have an umbrella of things as programmers to learn. So, and I was having this chat with him, trying to sort things out for him, helping him on going back to the path he wants. So I came up with this video on these steps that anyone can go through in order to become a programmer, even if you have zero experience or zero knowledge. So my first tip, after of course focus, again, it's focus again, but in this case focus on a single programming language. Let's say you want to learn Java, for example. Don't try to learn Java and something else at the same time, because the human brain is not good at multitasking. So we should focus on a single thing, and ideally a small thing at each time, so we can go faster with that simple thing. Let's say about Java, if you want to be a Java programmer, for example, what I can suggest you is to simply go through the basics of the language. And to be honest, that's gonna be true for almost all languages. All languages, they have data types, they have data structures, they have control flows, um, maybe exception handling. They differ from one programming language to the other, but they pretty much all have the same structure. So if you do this first step, just learn the basics of Java, for example, the primitives, data types, the object data types, the control flow, if, else, case. These are things that will help you to understand how to format and how to control your coding logic to achieve whatever you want. Let's say you want to calculate something or a sum of all transactions, for example. So you can have a loop to sum all the transactions, and then that's gonna give you the proper result in the end. So it's also a good exercise to focus on a single thing and limit our focus and our reach to that specific part. After that, we can always expand our knowledge and expand our reach. So that's my, I would say, this first real tip, which is to focus on a single programming language and a single set of features. So don't try to learn everything at once because it's not gonna work. Okay. My second tip here is, as you're learning those things with your specific programming language, you have to build something. The soul of programming is to solve a problem. So that's why I'm encouraging you to go and solve a problem. Let's say create a new calculator, for example, a code that will calculate two numbers, three numbers, four numbers, or will sum a list, and you can keep it going on and on and on. There are many programming challenges on Google. For example, you can search on Google, and then you're gonna find lots of problems to solve. And of course, you have to start from a very easy problem. Let's say a sum of two numbers or three numbers, and then you can keep progressing on your problem solving, and that's gonna help you a lot to absorb all the programming language basic stuff, such as, again, those data types, the data structures, sorting, control flow, exceptions, and many other things that we use on a daily basis to code a solution. So that was my second tip for you. So that's gonna help you immensely once you apply those concepts you read or watched on a video, for example. It helps to cement that knowledge inside our brains. We can see this process the same as if we were learning a new path. For example, we want to go from city A to city B, but using a different path that we never gone before. So it's gonna take us a few rounds or a few trips to memorize the new path, and not to use the GPS again, for example. So this is how the human brain works. So we have to train our brain to absorb the new contents we want, the new knowledge we want. And that's my second tip. Time for my third tip. Yeah, this one is level up, which is to choose your tech stack. What I mean for tech stack is, in order to develop software, we have to use not only a programming language, but many tools, many other pieces of software, frameworks, operating system, and a bunch of other stuff. Of course, again, we can't learn everything all together, but this is going to be the next step. For example, for PHP, for example, a tech stack, a famous one is the LAMP, which is Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP, of course, it's a P. Yeah, this is the stack. So people who usually work with PHP, they tend to use this tech stack, which is composed by these four basic pieces of software. Okay. Likewise for Java, for example, people who code in Java, they usually nowadays use Spring Framework, Spring Boot, MySQL as well as a database, or Postgre, SQL, and a few other things. But I think that's going to be the very basic structure you can go through. Likewise for Python, for example, people who use Python to code, if they want to create a web application, they are going to use Django or Flask, which are frameworks, SQL Alchemy, which is a mapping as well, and a few other tools as well. So, and again, the tech stack will be dependent on the language you choose. So each language, they have a different tech stack. Another good example is if you want to work with Microsoft technologies, for example, ASP.NET, it has its own stack as well. So it works on Windows and it requires a set of frameworks and tools to work with to help the programmer to be more productive. There is nothing there on those tools and stacks that we could not do manually, but it's gonna save a lot of time. Those pieces of software, they have been tested extensively and proven to be really helpful on helping us going faster. So this is this is my third tip for you. My fourth tip is to pick an operating system. I know that the majority of people probably they use Windows, and of course, if you're going to use a Microsoft programming language and a Microsoft tech stack, for example, ASP.NET, C Sharp, and so on, you have to use Windows, of course. But if not, if you're using Java, Python, Ruby, or any other programming language or stack, PHP, LAMP, I strongly recommend you to use Linux. And you can use any flavor of Linux you want. There is a Ubuntu, for example, that's a very famous distro. You can download and install it locally as a dual boot, or run it as a virtual machine, for example, in your laptop or PC. And you should get familiar with all the commands, how the operating system works, how to find a file, how to find a folder, how to create folders, permissions, how to find files with a certain content, so search by the content, how to check for disk and memory space, how to check for processes and ports being used. So these are a few things that you can really learn pretty quickly. That simply just try, just be curious, download the software, install, and start using. The best way to learn is by doing. As we do something, so our brains they keep recording those actions, and they keep recording those problems and the solutions we get to for those problems. So just as a summary, so the first thing is you have to pick a programming language, focus on that programming language, on the basic things of that programming language. At the same time, you should pick problems to solve as you're going to learn that language. So just apply that knowledge solving new problems. And again, you can search on the web. Next thing is to pick a tech stack. Again, on top of the first and the second step, which is programming language, solving a problem. After you're familiar with these two steps, go to the third step, which is pick up a stack. And again, try to solve those problems again using that stack, and see how those things can help you to speed up your process of solving a problem. And the fourth and last tip is to pick a operating system. So just take a look on Linux. Well, I hope I have helped you guys somehow, sharing my knowledge here. Please hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you will not miss any of my videos. And leave a comment below as well, so saying what you think about this video, if you missed something, if you have any questions. So just write just under the video, then I will reply to you as soon as I can, okay? I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.